And welcome back to Across the Board with Ian the Colonel here on hawkradio.org and acrosstheboardradio.com, wherever you find us. Same show either way. I've got to tell you, we love all kinds of music here on Across the Board. I think we're kind of rock fans at heart.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Love metal.
Yeah, it's just nothing better than banging out every once in a while, just getting really into it.
Yeah, and the thing is that I think metal is thriving right now. Out of every type of music out there, I think metal might be the best genre going, have the most strength going into it right now. One of the bands leading the way in this, and has been for years, I got to say, is Chimaira.
Yeah.
Damn, I love Chimaira, man. So, what better way to get into Chimaira, to bring Mark Hunter, lead singer, on. Mark, are you there?
I'm here. How you guys doing?
Outstanding today, man.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good day. So, like I was saying to you off air there, Trigger Finger, one of the newer singles off the album The Age of Hell, is just incredible, man. I love that song, and it's one of those that you have to get going. I mean, it can wake me up in the morning, it can get me pumped, give me a second wind. Love it. What was behind your head when you were, creating that song?
Oh man, a lot of stuff. I just feel at this point in my life where I think that there's that old saying, shit or get off the pot, and it just kind of feels like not only is that happening with myself, but I'm witnessing so many other people around me that need to jump off that diving board, as they say, and just wake up. And so it's just a lot of that feeling going into that, and no one's going to kind of stand in the way of making that happen.
And I love that. And again, we're talking about The Age of Hell, the new album just released last August. Or I'm sorry, not last August, last month, I should say, through E1. You're one of the original members of the band. I mean, you started the band, and obviously Chimaira has gone through so many lineup changes. But I think the passion, the energy, the sound has remained the same. It's remained as hard, if not more aggressive than ever. How do you keep that up? I mean, is it just that you're the secret ingredient? Not dismissing the other members, but I mean that it's you that keeps Chimaira going, or how has that affected you, I guess, with the lineup changes, and will that possibly affect you in the future?
Right. Well, it's never a fun thing when it happens. I can assure you of that. And I look at it, from our perspective, and it's like, man, yeah, we've gone through quite a bit, and each person that comes into the band, brings something unique and brings something special, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Even in the beginning, it's such a different lineup from the original lineup. The original lineup was 4 guys, and no one but me is in the band anymore. But it's like when we were starting, we were all 18, 19 years old, and so things just happen in life. Even the biggest bands have gone through lineup changes over the years, the major ones. So, but now I can't turn on the internet without seeing lineup changed or band breaking up. I just think something's in the water.
Yeah. Well, of course, I think it's irony for your band being called Chimaira, being parts of something else, multiple heads, coming together, and that's sort of been, the benchmark of the band.
Now, what made you decide, I don't know if this was your decision or not, but, you can get the latest album, The Age of Hell, in the UK with the September issue of Metal Hammer magazine. How did that come about?
Brilliant idea from our management. We've always had a great rapport with our UK fan base. When we go over and play there, they're some of the most energetic, eclectic shows where you kind of feel like this surreal, like, wow. We played the Download Festival in front of over 60,000 people, and it's just you don't get that type of feeling. Sometimes maybe in the middle of Kansas playing in front of 200 kids.
Right.
So there's this special place for the UK in our hearts, and Metal Hammer has always been a big supporter of our band as well, and we just thought it was an innovative way to say thank you and to possibly get some new fans as well. And I think with their reach, they're able to get our music heard by a lot of new people, and that's always important.
Yeah, and that's definitely a creative way to do it. I mean, if you've been a subscriber to a magazine for a while, and next thing you know, you're getting a free CD, someone's album, their latest album. If you've never heard them before, you're gonna listen to it. So
right.
You're right. It is a genius way to do that, and hopefully they'll go back and buy previous CDs and also go out and see you guys on tour as well. Now, your latest single, "You're the Snake," just came out, and you just released the video for it last month as well. Talk to us a little bit about making the video making process and how it's changed over the years. I mean, MTV isn't what it used to be, and there's not as much room in the rotation in MTV anymore for metal music.
Right. It's unfortunate because I really enjoy the visual realm, and having the opportunity to make videos, it's fun. This process, it was pretty easy. We went upstairs of our rehearsal space, and our landlord has this great space with a stage, and just had a lot of room to work, and so we didn't have to travel far. We just put our gear up there, and we just wanted to do a take on on the old classic thing. We weren't trying to do a big epic story but the old classic, hey, we're a band jamming, but we're doing it with a really expensive camera. And it's the same camera that they use on the Discovery Channel to do the documentaries like that show they did with Life, and everything's in super slow motion. And
really?
Yeah, so we used the same camera, and it was like crazy price. I mean, we spent the entire budget just renting that thing. It was so expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And, but it was cool because we wanted to show the new members and slowing them down to 5 times the speed of life. You get to really focus in on what we all look like.
Yeah. Now, you said earlier it's something in the water, talking about bands, with lineup changes. Talking about something in the water. What is going on in Ohio, man? There are some crazy bands, metal bands coming out of, your home state. We've got, Mushroom Head, Attack, Devil Wears Prada, Miss May I, of Mice and Men. I mean, so many bands that are coming out of that area. Is it just because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's there? I mean, what's going on?
I don't think so. I've always felt, well, I'm from Cleveland. I always felt in Cleveland it feels like a melting pot here, of sorts. And there's just so many different cultures and styles, and it seems like the hybrid city in a sense. And I think that you get a lot of bands that have like this Cleveland sound too, that just has an attitude. And as far as the other bands that are from Ohio, I mean, I think, hey, we're the heart state, we're the heart of it all.
Nice. Good answer.
I don't know. I definitely don't attribute it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though. I mean, as cool as it is, I don't know why people gravitate towards the city. I mean, we're the city that broke Rush.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, just interesting things about Cleveland and Ohio in general. A lot of great music, 9 Inch Nails. I think singer of Tool was from Ravenna.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can't confirm
yeah, it's
that.
interesting that the state is, but
yeah,
I guess it's the Midwest, California, or New York City.
Yeah, Maynard's from Ohio. Yeah, I think that's
I
right.
think maybe
I'm
he
pretty
is,
sure he's right on that. Yeah,
okay.
That's a good call. What are you listening to? Talk about other bands, and obviously, you'll mention bands that you've toured with and label mates and so on and so forth. But who are you listening to right now? What gets you going? And then on the flip side of that, who are you listening to that might surprise your fans?
Well, the funny thing was, I should definitely shout this out. What I was listening today, the past 2 days, is this audiobook from the rapper Ghostface Killah, where he just tells you about how you're supposed to live your life. And it is seriously the funniest thing you will ever listen to. It's called The World According to Pretty Tone. And
what?
It is. He made an audiobook about. It gives you life lessons like how to brush your teeth, how to wash your ass correctly. It is unbelievable.
I got to get
pure
that.
Comedy.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't think it's a big surprise. I think a lot of fans know I'm like a metal guy and a rap guy. I grew up listening to both genres for the past 25 years. So, you know, I stay interested in both. But lately I've been just going really far back. I've been listening to a lot of classic rock, and I'd say from the past year or so I've just kind of been on a Floyd and Zeppelin kick, and just kind of the old stuff I was listening to growing up. And, you know, I kind of turned into a hippie.
Now, you seem to be into a lot of the pop culture as well. You know, you were discussing, you know, the Discovery Channel and all that as well. But you've had, you know, like Mythbusters use some of your music in one of their episodes. If I remember correctly, they were playing metal music to plants to see if they would get them to grow any faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
And you guys also did a quick guest appearance with Brendan Small and Death Clock.
Yeah.
What is it about Brendan Small? I mean, it's just when I watch Metalocalypse and hear Death Clock, what is it about him that makes him such a genius when it comes to making that happen?
You would never expect it coming from him when you see him.
Right.
True.
Yeah, that's kind of. I guess that's what I was trying to say without sounding so crass about it. You know?
Yeah, but you got to play.
Well, I hope I don't sound crass.
No.
No, it's just, you're right though. He doesn't
looks like just a normal dude, but here he is just coming out with this crazy death metal, and usually you would expect him to look the part.
Right. I had no idea he could play, let alone on a level.
Great players.
You know,
the whole band, excellent players.
Yeah, they are amazing. And plus, you know, Mark, you're one of the bands that has been able to say you played a concert with cartoons, and you're not the Wiggles or something. So.
Yeah. And it was cool. The show they put on was phenomenal, and we definitely gained some new fans from that. I mean, it was, we'll go out on tour with, you know, bands in our genre, like you do a Mayhem, or maybe go out with Killswitch Engage or something.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You know, the fans, they kind of know who you are already. But with that tour, it was like, man, they bring out the dungeon dweller.
So I mean, is it just something that you are? I mean, where you keep up with pop culture? You did the cover of Wild Thing when the Charlie Sheen thing was really big. I mean, is it just you guys keeping up with that, or is it just?
Yeah, you know, I think it's. I have two sides, and if you get into astrology, yes, I am a Gemini. But one side of me loves the culture. I think it's hysterical. I think that, you know. And there's also fascinating where, look at the technology, how we've connected ourselves through Facebook and Twitter, and you can talk to celebrities now as if you are your friend down the street, like you've known them forever. But I also see, like, the negative side. It's like I'm a total counterculture guy too, where I'm like, oh great, we used all this great wisdom and power to make all this technology, and what we're using it for is to show each other pictures of food.
Right.
And, you know, I just have this people need to wake up, you know, attitude about so many things. But we'll get into that on some other lecture some other day.
We'll check back in with you for another day.
Check back in with me in a few months.
We'll do for sure. And let me ask you this: so you're a big, you know, a metal fan, a hip hop fan, those types of things. So you've been in the scene long enough. I would probably consider you a metal historian to a degree. So if you could pass down a time capsule to your family, like your kids or whatever, or other metal fans or music fans, to tell them what metal is about, what music is about. You can put 3 things in the time capsule. What would they be?
I would put in, I guess, albums that changed my life in the heavy metal world.
Okay.
Definitely would be Slayer, Rain and Blood. It was the first piece of metal music I ever heard. I was 8 years old, and I grew up listening to Prince and Michael Jackson and Thompson Twins, whatever the hits of the radio were of the early 80s. And I stumbled upon hearing the bridge riff in Angel of Death, and blew me away. I think, you know, it's tough to give me 3, because I would love to throw Machine Head in there, because they wanted me to. They inspire me to be, you know, in music. But I mean, it's a tough call between, got to throw Black Sabbath in there, as I find they are the originators.
Absolutely.
So you have to throw in the first album, and then, a third album to pick. Do you go the Metallica route, or do you go the Pantera route?
Doesn't have to be an album.
That's a tough thing, because Master of Puppets versus a Vulgar or Far Beyond Driven.
Yeah.
I guess I just have to go with the Master of Puppets. It's such
a good call.
Classic album, but I mean, it's a tough draw, man. There's so many things I'd love to throw in there.
Let me just point out, Mark, that you did say you listened to the Thompson Twins. You said that out loud.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay,
I'm
just
all right with that.
Again, this is Across the Board with Ian the Colonel. We're here with Mark Hunter of Chimaira, talking about The Age of Hell, the new album that is out right now. Go get it.
Now, we also talked about, going back to The Age of Hell. It's right now sitting in the Billboard Top 200. Do you think a metal album will ever hit in the top 10 again?
Yeah, definitely. I think Lamb of God will. I think I've heard Killswitch are writing. They have a good shot at it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys are going to be on tour, I imagine, next month. I think it is. And you're going to come to Baltimore, our area, in October. So that's going to be fun. You're going to play at Sonar. And
definitely,
then,
yeah. I love playing that area.
Yeah, and that's going to be good. So we're going to have to try to make it out to that one. You're going to go all around the U.S., then you're heading off into the U.K., as you had mentioned before. I mean, what places in the world have you not played that you are really looking forward to playing, that you really, really want to go?
Yeah, anywhere in Asia, basically. Either China or India or even these Malaysia. We've kind of either flown over or had layovers or to play Japan once. But I really like the Eastern culture, so anywhere over there. And I think it would be awesome. The only two states we haven't been to yet are Hawaii and Alaska, and I think it would be cool to play either one of those places as well.
Nice. I'd love to just go to one of those places for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And South America has been just annihilating us on Twitter and Facebook to come there. So I think we really need to start planning a trip down there as well.
They have some rabid fans down that area. I
can't wait. I've seen videos of so many bands, and there's no reason that we haven't been down there yet. It's just we haven't been. So we've got to make it a priority.
Now, we've never been rock stars. We don't know what the lifestyle is like. I've heard it described as it's glamorous for maybe 45 minutes a night when you're on stage, but can be kind of mundane, the other times. What keeps you sane while you're on the road, and do you I guess, are there any stories that you could share? Wild stories.
I think that it's all how you perceive it. Your day can be mundane, and if you want it to be, but I think that it's important to try to find, even on the worst days where you're just in the middle of nowhere in some parking lot, to try to entertain yourself in some way. And man, sometimes it's hard, but there's definitely crazy stuff that happens. It's just out of nowhere, though. You don't plan for the things. It'll be 1 minute you're sitting there watching the Food Network, and then the next thing you know, somebody from another band is bringing up two girls to eat each other out in front of you, and you're just like, what? And all of a sudden that just happened, and you're totally desensitized to it.
Really?
And you're just kind of like, oh, that's happening, and you don't care, and you're about to go on stage, and it's just another day, and you're like, what? And then you kind of process that, like, did I just see that?
Yeah, right.
And one time I actually witnessed, I was walking out of the bus, and I saw somebody running with a knife like in their shoulder neck area, and cops chasing him. And I was just like, another day in Connecticut.
Wow.
That's the scary thing is you see anything and everything possibly that you want to imagine, you see it. But I'm special or the other guys are special, but it really doesn't faze us.
Wow.
It's kind of weird. Like, we don't partake in any of the crazy stuff. It's usually a lot of the other bands we're like the nerds, like you come over and we're cooking dinner. We got, we're like super domestic. We got like a skillet up there. And we're going to town, and then, a lot of a lot of the crazier bands, which we won't name, but there's definitely some out there that you just, man, like, that's what you're into tonight, huh?
I've heard
If they live through the night.
I've heard the craziest band to be around with that kind of stuff is Head PE.
Oh, for real? Yeah. See, we haven't experienced touring with them, but
Who told us that?
I can
Nonpoint, I
imagine
think.
just from the lyrical content alone.
Yeah, we recently met up with Asking Alexandria, kind of a younger screamo band on the Warp Tour, and those guys were, they threw some liquor too. They're English though, they're like born to drink and all. All right,
Yeah.
so if the world's going to end in say 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, what is the last song that you want to hear or perform? Can be yours or anybody else's. Last notes that you want to hear.
Huh.
That's a good one.
Well, I guess the theme from Conan the Barbarian is probably not the best.
Hey,
Although
man,
I do enjoy that song, Anvil of Karam.
yeah.
I always say that I think that just, like I'm always like, play Nutshell from Alice in Chains at my funeral, like just to depress everybody.
Fantastic song.
That's a great song. I listened to that when
And
the
then
day
turn on Young MC, bust a move.
Nutshell. I listened to that the night Lane Staley died. Yeah, that's a good one to play. Yeah.
Brutal, it's just a haunting piece of music, and yeah.
Ah, good call. I like it. Again, Chimaira, The Age of Hell is out right now. See these guys on tour. We'll definitely try to meet up with them when they come through Baltimore, which is a couple hours from us. But, this is the kind of band that we always talk about, that you must go experience Chimaira. Don't just listen to them. Buy the music for sure, but go buy tickets to see these cats, meet them, buy merch, all that kind of stuff, and support these guys. Because, Mark, we need more bands like you out there, man. There's so many good bands that are unsigned or that can't make it because they don't get the right breaks. But, you guys, they're the flag bearers for that kind of band, so we appreciate it.
Well, we feel blessed and lucky and thankful for the fans enjoy what they're hearing and stay loyal. I mean, without them, we have nothing.
Yeah, well, you guys keep putting out good music, so we appreciate that. Age of Hell is out.
I appreciate you guys playing it and doing the interviews for us.
Absolutely.
Like that helps out so much.
Hell yeah. Age of Hell, go out and buy it now. Check these guys out. They're everywhere online as well. You can find them anywhere. You can always find them through our Facebook, and we probably link up on them on acrosstheboardradio.com. So we'll be back in a few minutes here on Across the Board on hawkradio.org.
And acrosstheboardradio.com.